Welcome to the TEFS 702 class. My name is Natalie Adams. I would just like to share my screen with you so that we can start the recording. And just give me a minute. Okay, so there I am. Just need to do this twice. Okay, so 702 TEFS 702. Welcome and introduction lecture for today. My name is Natalie Adams, and some of you might know me from last semester. I started at Stadio during semester 1, focusing only on the TEFS 702 module. And welcome back for those of you who were here semester 1. For those who are doing this for the first time, welcome to the TEFS 702 classroom. And I think our motto for the semester will be to keep calm and enjoy the second semester. I think that is really what I would like from you. Semester 1 was a bit of a challenge for a lot of students because everything was new. So I'm hoping that those who have done semester 1 and are doing semester 2 now will actually enjoy it more, be calmer in a way more. Okay. So how are you feeling today? We would like to know. There's obviously a Mentimeter up there. Menti, if you go to Menti, www.menti.com, the link is on Canvas. And please note that this link closes on the 8th of August. So we just want to know how you are feeling. Are you feeling frustrated, scared? Are you in rage, maybe anxious, suspicious? I mean, there's lots of things I'm not sure how you are feeling this semester. If I have to rate how I'm feeling today, I'm quite excited about semester 2, as I believe it will be a fruitful semester for me especially. So yes, I would say that I'm just happy at this stage. Okay, so let's continue. So the Mentimeter, please note you need to enter a word, and that's it. So the lecturer, this is me. My name is Natalie Adams. That's my email address. And I suppose I can, for those that I introduced myself during semester 1, but for those who are new, my name is Natalie Adams. I was a former teacher at a high school, teaching mostly grade 12 learners and grade 11 and grade 12 learners. I was also head of the English department at my school. And yes, I started out as a very, very young teacher at the age of 22, was thrown into the deep end at a disadvantaged school that lacked so many resources. So I had to be creative from day one as a teacher, because I couldn't sit back and wait for things to happen. I had to make it happen. And you must also take into consideration, I was asked to take the grade 12 learners, and they had an external exam coming up at the end of the year. But I always say that that experience really formed my foundation, because from then onwards, I realized that it will be very difficult to get me down. I can deal with any situation. And I think that is sometimes very good, that if you have that as part of your personality, where you are not fearful of things that might look complicated, but yet have the ability to understand that if plan A doesn't work out, we go to plan B and plan C. So yes, I did that for about 9 years, and then decided to move away from teaching, and then became a lecturer at the Nelson Mandela University, and working for the Department of Applied Linguistics. And yes, in that position, I was then we basically taught everyone. So any module that needed a services course or a language course, we would go in. So I taught in all the faculties, from Faculty of Engineering to the Faculty of Humanities to the Faculty of Education. And yes, I taught foundation, senior phase, and FET students, and that was in both first and home language classes, and that was quite interesting. I truly enjoyed it. And yeah, after that, and while I was teaching at the university, I did a lot of short learning programs. So that is when you go out to companies, and a company would consult with our faculty or our department, and they would need a 2 or 3 day course on minute writing, report writing, on presentation skills, business writing. And then, yeah, I would go out and do that for 2 to 3 days at the company, or sometimes the employees will come to the university. But I always enjoyed going to the companies because then I could see the context of where people were coming from. And yes, that I enjoyed that thoroughly, and I did that for about 8 to 9 years. And then currently, I'm also assisting the university with school-based learning. So I go out to different schools, and then I assess the PGCE students. I will be called the lecture assessor, and then I go out, and I also enjoy going to the schools because it gives me also, I could also see the context and the environment that these student teachers have to deal with on a daily basis. So that's just a little bit about me. I'm an English teacher. I think I took this from my son, and she said, just like the normal teacher, except much cooler. I don't know if I could say that I'm a much cooler English teacher. I am someone that just enjoys what I do, and I enjoy what I do. So, but I believe that learning should be fun. Okay. So let's go further. When sending emails, so these are just the basic things that I would like you to look at, eh? And I think I changed this on the PowerPoint, but you know what? I'm not going to change this again because it just becomes, I think this is the fourth or fifth recording I'm doing. And yes, at this stage, I think I'm just tired. That's the reality of online class recordings, is that it can become this tedious. So I've changed it, but I'm not sure why it wasn't changed on the PowerPoint slide. So this essentially is just when sending emails to me. I'm your TEFS 701 lecturer. You need to write that in the subject line. And please take note that if you have any queries for TEFS, First Additional Language, you need to email me. Marcel is involved with all the other modules except for the TEFS module. So please email me. So usually you need to use your registered name. Please do registered name and registered surname. The reason why we have to mention this is that sometimes some of you use a nickname, or some of you use a Google Gmail account to email me. And you know, it is so difficult to find you because I do not know who you are if you do not give me the registered name. That's the name that's on the system, the email system of Stadio. So please ensure that you send it. When you send me an email, send it from your Stadio email. Okay. I said, do not post to Canvas inbox. We had problems with Canvas inbox last semester. Yes, you can. I believe you can post in there if it's an emergency, but I would prefer you posting anything that's needed on yours to make use of your Stadio email. Okay, let's go further. Refer to specific issues, topics in your heading, and text with dates. So if you want to ask me about SS1, just write there, is SS1 inquiry or issue, just write that in the subject line. And here Marcel gave an example. For example, the person you've given the subject line, this person queried about their assignment 3 mark, and then there they have, tell me exactly what they are looking for, and your name and surname is on it. Okay. Your prescribed reading for this semester will be, and I'm just going to show you the curriculum assessment, your CAPS document that is on your Stadio profile, sorry, your Canvas page. You will find it there. You can download it and save it somewhere because you're going to need that often. Obviously your prescribed textbook is Ferreira. That is, you should have bought, if you were registered last semester, you would have bought that book already. And then the last one would be additional resources or textbook or prescribed textbook would be Roy Killen. Now, I'm just going to give you a brief outline of what Unit 1 will be about. And Unit 1 is going to be about teaching language structure and use in the home language and first additional language classrooms. So essentially this is, if I look at the assignment, it's essentially a grammar paper, a language grammar paper. So yes, and this is what we are going to focus on. We're going to look at learning content. For this will be identifying importance of teaching language structure and use. So to put this very plainly, it's about how you're going to ask questions in a grammar paper, and then and to how you're going to ask the question and how you're going to structure the question in a question paper. So you are going to set up a question paper for me. You're going to write a question paper, a grammar question paper, and then there are certain questions you're going to have to ask within the grammar paper. So your question, your SS1 will be essentially a grammar paper. So yes. And then in this paper, we are going to look at how you can apply integrated grammar teaching strategies. So I'm not going to give you a lot of examples because I think sometimes I've noticed that it can be a bit overwhelming when too much information is given. But for example, in the grammar paper, you would ask things like, in the old system, you would ask things, identify or rewrite this word by using a synonym, or identify the past tense form of a particular word. This is not what we intend doing here. We do not like isolated grammar questions. We want these questions to be integrated. Okay. And so an example of an integrated question would be, why was the past tense form, why was the past tense used in the context of the question paper, for example? So it would be more integrated grammar, but we're going to do a lot. With the other online recordings, I will give you examples of what is required from you for SS1, okay? Then Unit 2 will be the teaching writing in the home language and first edition language classes. So the learning content there would be it's all going to be about exploring writing practices in the classroom. So when looking at writing, there's a process to writing. Essentially, that is what we're talking about. And I want to know from you, how are you going to apply these writing processes? So when we're looking at applying, we mean planning, we mean drafting, revising, and editing, composing, and processes for writing. So all of these things you are going to have to do with your SS2. So I'm going to give you a little bit more information on that when we get to that program, when we get to SS2, in terms of what am I expecting from you. This will be for those of you who was registered for semester 1. If you think about the 20-minute SS3 assignment you did, the SS3 assignment, the 20-minute recording. Now, this would be similar to that one, where we are going to ask you to apply the writing processes. Okay, but I'll give you a little bit more information on that later on. And then your third assignment is going to be similar to another question paper again, but this time we are going to look at your essay writing and your transactional writing. Okay, so designing different genre writing activities, so academic writing, creative writing, poetry, and other genres. Again, I'll give you more information on it. Then, so here's what language in practice will be for home language, first additional language. So this is the thing, this is the SS3 that I've just spoken about. You're learning content, like applying critical language awareness for first home language and first additional languages, effective and in SP teachers, and then choosing suitable text for critical language activities. Okay, so please, there will be online lessons, online recordings on all of these areas. Okay, so let's go further. Now, I've given you a brief outline of what to expect in Unit 1, Unit 2, and Unit 3. So that will be your discussion. That will be part of your SS1, SS2, and SS3. Okay, so hope you have clarity on that now. So this is obviously a distance model. Those of you who were registered for semester 1 would understand how this model works. For anyone that's new, I just want to explain to you that this module, the PGCE, will be delivered using a distance language approach. And what is it? So we're wondering, a distance language approach is an online style of learning which is not face-to-face, as you know. Like this would be a face-to-face classroom. That's not what we're doing. It's independent. So it's independent learning. It is online and it's engaged. So online meaning what I'm doing here now. This is an online lesson. And then you're also relying on Canvas. Oh, you should know by now how important Canvas is for when doing a distance learning module, and especially for this module. You will also have online sessions, and this is what I'm doing with you today. It's an online session. There will be announcements that will come out every week, and that's normally written. You will find it on Canvas. Sometimes the announcement will be done on Canvas, and sometimes I will send out announcements via email. So you must always check out your announcements on Canvas as well as via your emails. Then the last one, obviously, emails that I've just mentioned, okay? So for those, this is just the home page that all of you should be familiar with. This is Canvas, and this is what it looks like. There you have different areas. This is your links on the quick links. You just tap on your quick links, and then it will tell you for week 1 what is required from you for week 1. All your activities will be there. If we go to week 2, it will be there, etc., etc. What you'll also notice is that when you get to your quick links, your SS1 contextualized grammar assessment practices, that's due on the 20th of August, 2023, that is already, your assignment is there. You can have a look at it, okay? Your SS2 assignment is there. It's on the system. You know when is due date, etc. So be cognizant of the dates, etc., especially your submission dates for your assignments. What does this mean for TEFS 702 courses? Your course will have 3 delivery methods. 1, it's the recordings that I'm doing now. Number 2 will be Zoom face-to-face classes. And then number 3 would be your online trackers and tutorials, okay? So all of these you will find your recording, you'll find on Canvas. Normally Zoom sessions that you will find will also be on Canvas, but a Zoom link will normally be sent to you. And then number 3, your online trackers and tutorials, that will be your quizzes and so forth. You will also find that on Canvas, okay? So let's go on, recording lessons. Okay, so why do we record these lessons? It's to give you what? It's to give you input and course content. Okay, so these recording lessons may include videos, readings, online activities, because we want to assist you in being able to answer your assignments, the question of your assignments. So who you do it independently and where you do it on Canvas. And I want to emphasize that nothing is done in any other way but on Canvas, please. We had huge problems with last semester with people not submitting their assignments on Canvas. They never submitted their links, and it was an absolute nightmare. So please, people, you need to submit on Canvas. If you don't do it before the due date, you are going to have problems, okay? So where can you do it? You can do this work anywhere. You can do it as college, at home, Starbucks. You can do it anytime, day or night. This is independent work, so you don't have to worry about it. So this is the main page that most of you will link on. And then how do I have to do the recorded class? Of course, yes. Without the recording class or the online learning or the online recording that I'm doing with you here, you will not know what's going on in this module. I've noticed that sometimes, especially last semester, students would ask me questions that's actually on the recording. The answer is there. Then I would realize, no, but these students did not listen to the recording. You can't do this module if you do not listen to the recorded class, okay? Or the online class. You need the lecture information and content to use to use in your Canvas online tracking events activities. So every week there will be online tracking events, and also to complete your assignments. If you don't do it, you will not be able to complete tasks or online tracking activities effectively. So online tutorials on Canvas, what? Online tracking activities or forum discussions on Canvas will be there every week. Why? It extends content from canned and Zoom face-to-face classes applied. Okay, provide support also for SS1, SS2, and SS3 assignments. Okay, so these are the online tutorials. So these would be your quizzes that you have to do, etc., where you'll find it on you'll find it on Canvas, and you can get access anywhere with an internet or a place where you can have Wi-Fi anytime. Okay, now online tutorials on Canvas. Do you listen, for example, we would ask you, do you listen to the lecture recordings? When do you listen to your lecture recordings? Most of you said at any convenient time. So this is the information we got from your responses. And then another question that was asked about the Zoom or face-to-face classes are, most of you listen to it maybe after the Zoom meeting, but it's always better to be part of the Zoom meeting, okay? How will distance learners help me? Obviously, it's more flexible because you do not have to go to a classroom at a specific time. You can do whatever you want to. You can work whenever you want to, so it's more flexible. When you learn day or night. How you learn, do classes all at once or break lesson up. So you can use do most of your classes. If you want to, you can do it all at once or break lessons up, because sometimes the recordings, if the recording is very long, it can be very tiring. So I would always recommend that if you can break up the recording, maybe if you feel that a 50-minute recording has a lot of information, maybe break it up into 2 25-minute listening sessions, okay? And then less class hours, so Zoom, face-to-face, recorded lessons, online trackers, you choose where and when. So all of these things that we are giving you, you can choose when you want to work on it. It makes you a better graduate for the workplace. This is what we've discovered, because now you know what independent learning is all about. You are active, you are also responsible for your own learning. And that obviously gives you great success, okay? So distance learning courses is it easier? No, but they are different. I don't think it's, I sometimes wonder, because I was fortunate last year to also lecture, and I was lectured face-to-face classes, and I've come to realize that distance learning, students, I'm not sure. I don't think necessarily it's easier. I agree with myself, but let me continue. Same course learning outcomes and assessments. So whether it's face-to-face or distance, it has the same course learning outcomes and assessments. For success on distance learning courses, you need to be responsible. There cannot be any excuses. You need to do the online activities on time. You need to participate in the Zoom face-to-face classes, and you need to actively look for support in the online tutorials. So independent, you are an independent worker. You manage your time. You check your emails, notifications, and announcements from your lecturer regularly. You do not see them in the classroom, okay? And then there's just another question that asks, which format of distance learning you prefer from 1 best to 6 worst. And most of you said Canvas Access, okay, which format you prefer. So Canvas Access seems to be the best one for most of you, okay, and canned or pre-recorded online recordings. And this is what I'm doing now. So a typical weeks might look like this. Semester 2, this is what it might look like. So it's quite a lot of work. And I think students tend to underestimate how exhausting this module can be. It is a lot of content that you need to absorb in order for you to answer especially your assignments. So please I'm just giving this as a warning for those of you who might want to wait to the last minute to do your assignments, and especially your online quizzes, etc. It is, and you will have problems. I've seen that happen last semester with a lot of students. So please ensure that you keep up to date with your work and so on. So the assessment, so there will be 3 assessments. The one will be contextualized grammar assessment, and that will be your date. That will be week 4, 22nd to the 24th of August, 2023, and that will be for 25 mark. 25. The allocation will be 25%. Yes, so that will be a contextualized grammar assessment paper. The online recordings will assist you in actually doing the first assignment. So the second assignment, the process writing presentation, that will be submitted during week 8, and the 22nd and the 24th of September 2023, and that will be 30%. And then your SS3 will be a paper 1 and a paper 3 examination setting. So your paper 1 and paper 1, 2, and 3, those would be your exam papers, and that will be 35%. And then that will be submitted on the 22nd to the 24th of October. And then obviously you get your participation mark. That will be your online tracking tasks. Your online tracking tasks will be for week 1, 3, 5, 6, and 9, and that will count 10%. So you will not be doing online tracking tasks. Some of you might know it as a quiz. You will not be doing online tracking tasks every week. You will only do it for week 1, 3, 5, 6, and 9. Okay. Now, here is your TESF assessment. These are the weights. I've just mentioned it to you again. I need you to be very clear about this. Your participation mark is 10%. Your SS1 assignment counts 25%. Your SS2 assignment counts 30%. Your SS3 assignment counts 35%. And that will give your final mark of your for the semester. Okay. Have you been listening? You need to access the code quiz below to find out. You have until the 8th of August, midnight, to complete the introduction fun quiz. And wishing you a successful semester 2. Yes, so that is, thank you. And I will now leave the recording. Let me just go back there. Thank you.